Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Friday, June 23rd, and let me just make sure I got the right link going on here. I do. Okay, great. All right, it's Friday, June 23rd. I got to go through stocks first because there's Catalyst just came out that I want to talk about. Then we'll get to the macro a bit later. Let me just things going on this morning. All right. GENI, GENI, just made it to the top of my watch list. So we covered GENI before. So you know what we like to do here at Story Trading is we have a watch list of stocks that we know to some extent. Some of them we know really, really well because we've interviewed the CEO or the CFOs, and some of them we know less well. In this case, we were tracking DKNG in the sports betting sector. It was DKNG, SRAD, GENI. And if you remember through earnings season, we're monitoring all those, and GENI did the best. GENI had the best earnings. I think they had beaten and raised, and SRAD went the opposite direction with their earnings and the price action. So that's the backdrop. Like, I know GENI is a higher quality name with good fundamentals. So when I see a press release like this, I jump on it. Came out. Sports extends official betting data partnership with Football Data Co. and secures AI-powered tracking technology. What do you think the rest of the market's doing? As I like to say, I don't care what a stock is worth. I care what other people think a stock's worth. So I know that other people are going to look at AI headline and be like, oh, I'm going to buy that, especially when you know there's been a backdrop of good fundamentals. So we were quick on that. We got some at $5.99 and sold it at $6.30, but this is what I'm going to be playing today. Let's see, the 52-week high is 640. So right now you get resistance. You have resistance at the 52-week high here at 640. And this is one that definitely should be green on a day like today with that AI news. So what's your support is going to be, it's not going to go lower than yesterday's. That's my thesis. It can go lower, right? But you got to have a thesis. You got to have a direction. So the thesis here is the yesterday's close is 594. So we shouldn't go below 594 on a day like today, right? You could. That's why you diversify and you're careful and everything, and you have stop losses. But 594 would be a complete gap fill. I really doubt you get a complete gap fill at the open at 9:30 a.m., but it's certainly possible. So, look at it as like a risk-reward type thing. The closer it gets to 594 today, the better of a buy it is. The closer it gets back towards 640 today, the better of a sell it is. So this is a playground that you can play in, and I think it's going to be an excellent trading stock today. Also, look at this candle. Yesterday morning, looks like it was like 608. Let's just check that. That's another support level. Maybe 608 will be the lowest it's going to go today, 608. So monitor that one, and might go. Other people may be seeing this candle and they may be buying it up a penny or two ahead of that 609, 610. So maybe that's a buy entry on this one, 609, 610 area, 640 a resistance. Now, what happens if we break that 52-week high at 640? Is it possible? I guess it is. So let's go back. We got to go back some time and see where candles are with the 640 break. And I don't really see a clear signal. It's a lot of congestion still in this zone. So it may get away from me. If it breaks 640 and keeps on running, I might miss it. So I'm just hoping that this will chop between that 610 range at the bottom of the range and 635 to 640 at the top of the range. And that's something I feel comfortable with today, buying the dips with that AI news. And remember, story trading style, the backdrop of good fundamentals on this makes me more secure in a trade like this. Now, Celsius, we mentioned this yesterday. Man, this worked out incredibly. We have a long-term position. I didn't add any more yesterday. Should have. But yesterday morning, I told you that look at this pattern here. This pattern, it curved up. It had that big move. It consolidated, then curved down towards the 20 DMA, and boom. And then yesterday, it was curving down towards the 20 DMA. Didn't quite touch it, but why did we mention it yesterday? Because an analyst came out with a 155 price target. So the thesis was, hey, it doesn't necessarily have to touch the 20 DMA this time. It's close enough. We could go boom. And that's exactly what happened. And then overnight, we have two more upgrades. We have a 160 target from Roth MKM and a 180 target by Stevens & Co. So yesterday is 155. Today, 160 and 180. As I've been saying for quite a while now, this is one that you can just tuck away for the long term and not even trade it, because eventually it's going to be bought out for a premium. You're going to sell at the high by just holding this, right? Pepsi is going to buy them one day, and it'll be the highest price it ever traded at when they do buy them. So, you don't have to get cute with this. You can just tuck this away, hold it, and it's going to pay you in the long term. So Celsius, great company, great growth story. Amazon, I failed to bring this up yesterday, and that was my mistake because we talked about it 2 mornings ago. 2 mornings ago, we talked about it when the analyst came out with a 150 price target. What was that? Wednesday morning. Okay, it was right here, Wednesday morning, and came out with a 150 price target talking about the AI potential. And this is something I've been talking about for weeks upon weeks, that I really like Amazon's AI potential. And I felt like, see, it's not up as all the other big cap tech. They're basically closer to all-time highs. Amazon wasn't. So I really liked Amazon as kind of a laggard with this AI story that maybe the market wasn't grasping fully. And, I really see a vision for Alexa. I can't wait for that press release from Amazon, which will come one day, that Amazon Alexa is now empowered with AI. You can have conversations with Amazon, and maybe there's even add-on collaborations with a company like Talkspace or Teladoc or something, where you can now do mental health stuff and talk to an AI Alexa for mental health care. Then maybe at some point it says, hey, I can't help you any further. Here's some services you can sign up for. I see that day coming. 100% chance it is coming. It's a matter of when. Okay. And no matter what kind of services they provide, I guarantee you there'll be some new conversational AI features added to Alexa on everyone's home devices that they currently have. It's coming. And my bet is it's probably going to be announced this summer. I could be wrong on the timing, but when that happens, I think you see a 10% day on Amazon. Yesterday, on me for not doubling. Oh, we did buy, didn't we? We did buy Wednesday morning, but only small size. We should have bought big. And I failed to mention this again. See, sometimes I'm a day ahead of the market. So I'll mention the big catalyst on Wednesday, and then I'll just forget about it the next day. And that was my mistake, not to say, keep an eye on Amazon. It didn't have a great day yesterday, but we had that great news Wednesday morning, and then boom, it just takes time sometimes for the institution. This is institutional buying. Retail would have bought Wednesday. Institutions take a day. So it was my fault for not reiterating, to look at Amazon and have that on your watch list. So I apologize about that. But still, I like this. By the way, the 200-week moving average is at $132. So there is resistance there. And at some point, I don't know when, you have the macro economy to deal with and everything, but at some point it's going to get all-time highs. So probably a good stock for the long term. LLAP. We have a catalyst this morning. Now we have stack catalyst on LLAP. The LLAP hasn't worked yet. This has been my highest conviction play of the week, and it hasn't worked out yet, but I still like it. It's holding on, hugging the 20 DMA. The big ITU meeting starts on Monday. It's Friday. Starts on Monday. It ends on July 5th. We get the decision released on July 6th. This is for the $2.4 billion Rivada deal. I find it very hard to believe that investors will not buy this up ahead of such a monumental decision. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's why you diversify, okay? But that's my play. That's my target up here at the 50 DMA. Then this morning, you had some news. Safran and Terran Orbital signed memorandum of agreement to produce satellite electric propulsion systems, electric vehicles, in other words. Now, I don't know how satellites are typically powered. I would have imagined they were electric before, but maybe not. I don't know. But this headline, I think, we already have a thesis. I put something up on my Twitter today that it was talking about stack catalysts and the concept of stack catalysts. And the value of two catalysts on top of each other is worth more than the value of two catalysts independent of each other, right? And that's because of the sentiment impact. So sometimes you get 1 + 1 = 3, not 2. And in this case, maybe you get 1 + 0 = 3. What I mean by 0, I mean, hey, maybe this is not even a fundamentally important press release. I don't even need to know if it's a fundamentally important press release. I just need to know that we have a big event next week, and now you have another press release. It's a stack catalyst. It gives another excuse for people to buy. Think, I might be missing out. There may be some momentum here. There's some more urgency to buy. That's the thesis. I could be wrong, but I saw that thesis this morning, and I put it on my list as something that could outperform today. So I'm looking for LLAP to outperform today because of stack catalyst, and this target here at the 50 DMA continues to be valid. I'm hoping to hit that 50 DMA. I was hoping to hit it today. Doesn't look like it's going to happen today because the meeting starts on Monday, the ITU meeting. Most of the world won't find out the decision until July 5th or July 6th. But I guarantee you there's some corrupt people who work at the ITU who will whisper to some friends, who will whisper to some hedge fund. And next week, some hedge funds in the know will have the story, and there'll be, who knows what will happen. Maybe we'll see some crazy price action next week and no one will know why. That's why I was hoping to be able to get to my target before Monday. But nonetheless, given what happened last quarter with the ITU meeting, the bigger move is still going to happen after the official release. There might be some people in the know, but 95% of the market will be in the dark until July 6th. So you're still going to have that big move, on July 6th, either up or down. So you still have the potential for event anticipation move later into next week. So I think I'm going to hold on to this trade through next week as well, but I'll definitely be out of my trading shares before July 5th, July 6th. Okay. Then we have SENS, which I didn't talk about recently, but it's been on our watch list. I have some long-term shares. Why did this get on watch list? Because they had two. They had fundamentals and catalysts, right? They beat earnings over here. This had big spike. And then recently, I guess it was probably this spike here, United Healthcare. They signed up United Healthcare. That's why got on our show twice because of the earnings beat in the United Healthcare. Because of those two catalysts, catalysts and fundamentals, it is a long-term position. Don't have a big position. But now you broke out. You broke 84-cent resistance yesterday. The target's right there at 1. That's the 200 DMA. But if you go to the thing is that the RSI is relatively low. Well, it's 71. Okay, it's a little bit high. But if you go to the weekly, the RSI is relatively, you can see it's low. It's at 54 on the weekly. And on the weekly, it could make a move to 110. So I'd say the target here is $1 to $1.10 on SENS. And by the way, a little bit late. I've been working on trying to connect with management so I can interview management, and I made a connection yesterday, so I'm going to try to get that a little bit late, whatever. But at least we'll learn the story at some point, and maybe this will correct. It'll come back down at some point, and then who knows? Maybe there's a big time long-term growth story we don't know yet. All right, so we're going to interview management at some point and find out about that. All right, ACHR. I'm noting this because it's pulled back to the 20 DMA, right there. Not only 20 DMA, but the top of this candle here, 339. So 339 support level. So if you like this EV, airplane story, it could be a buy here. But it's not guaranteed to hold. Okay, I don't know that this sector is going to be proven. They probably need to raise a lot of money still. It could, break this 20 DMA and make a move down here to 3 or below 3. All that's in the cards. But maybe it's worth the risk reward of picking some up at the 20 DMA. But if it closes below the 20 DMA, personally, I'd be out. I don't want to be holding between 339, let's say 337, 335, something like that. I don't want to be holding between that level and $3. But today may be a good risk reward at the 20 DMA. Then we have SPCE. Yesterday, I warned you guys. I warned you guys that this could drop to the 200 DMA. And look at that, right at the 200 DMA. They did an offering. They did an offering after hours, and I talked to you yesterday about risk and position size, and you got to be careful. And SPCE is a risky stock, highly volatile, and why? Why is a risky stock highly volatile? Because their fundamentals aren't good, and they're going to need to constantly raise money. And lo and behold, it happened last night. So anyway, we're at the 200 DMA. It could definitely hold here. All right, so it could definitely hold the 200 DMA, but we'll have to see. I guess they're launching soon next week. Next week is going to be the first commercial space flight launch. So maybe this is going to go, but you do have additional downside risk. If it closes below 200 DMA, you can get to this 20 DMA, 431 and 4. And just FYI, my bias, and I did some research into this last night, long term, I could definitely see this going to like a buck or lower, right? They have to raise a lot of money constantly for many, many years. And it's not a guarantee. Like, are there enough rich people to be taking these flights, right? And they also have some competition from another, who's it, Elon Musk firms? I don't know who's the other guy. Someone else is doing it too. Is it Amazon? Jeff Bezos has something. So there's another competitor, which I think their product is more compelling. But yeah, this is just going to be a money guzzler for years and years and years, and they're going to keep selling shares for years and years and years. So I don't like this long term at all. This is just a trade. So monitor your size and be careful with that. All right. All right, today on watch as well, a few names that we're going to be watching today. Actually, let me just jump down first. I think Overstock and SOUN is mostly played out. We were on top of these early, and we made good money on both of these. So I think both of these, hey, they could go higher. They could pull back, and maybe monitor these for pullback support levels. But I think the juice, the meat of the move has been made, and it's riskier up here. Both of these definitely riskier up here to play these. SOUN maybe a little bit safer on pullbacks, I think, than Overstock. SOUN has that price target increase from Cantor Fitzgerald, $6.25. I really respect Cantor Fitzgerald, by the way. So that's something. to look at, but smaller size at this point because we got a nice meaty move out of it already. Taboola made a nice move. We mentioned this yesterday. Look at that, $3.30, $3.30. That was on the upgrade, the $5 as initiation. Was it initiation? Yeah, initiation from B. Riley. We gave that to you yesterday morning, and it got like a 15% move out of that. Congrats if you jumped into that stock at that price. It's right kind of at resistance right now. It looks like it's forming this kind of a cup. So it could break out of this, but it's definitely at resistance now. It could break that level of like 327, 330, where it is now, make a move to 350 or $4. I do like this stock fundamentally for the long term. I like their Yahoo deal. I like the $1 billion extra revenue that's going to be coming in from Yahoo next year. So solid company. The meat of the move already has been made yesterday. So at this point, I don't know that it's a trade for today, but maybe something you can tuck away long term. I think I skipped over HTR. Okay, HTCR and APRN. Okay, we've been holding these patiently, waiting for moves. HTCR, 20 DMA. I like the fundamentals on this. We've interviewed the CEO, so I'm looking for a move to the top of this candle here, 179, and then 2. We just have to wait for volume or news. This may go without news, tell you the truth, I think, HTCR. And then APRN as well. We've been holding this patiently. It's finally starting to bounce. Look, I interviewed the CFO the other day in a private meeting, and I don't think we're going to get a significant news catalyst until the earnings report. So we have to wait till the first week of August for the earnings report. There might be other news coming out of product releases and things like that, but no other major news is actually going to come out. That doesn't mean it can't run. A lot of traders have their eyes on APRN, and it's finally had a green day yesterday, so it may catch some attention. It's very low float now, and it's also, in my belief, very, very undervalued. I'm looking for a move to $15 to possibly $60, $15 to $60 later this year if the thesis plays out, and if management's being honest in the signals they're giving so far in the press release, if they're being honest in the signals they gave me on my call with them, which basically reiterated what they said on the press release, which is that this deal with Fresh Realm is going to basically put them in a much faster path to profitability with no is priced for bankruptcy right now, with a very, very low EV to revenue ratio. If people have confidence that they're not going to have to raise money, that they can be profitable, you're going to see a massive re-rating of the stock. So this is one of my favorite stocks right now, APRN, but you may have to be patient and wait for the guidance that they're going to be giving first week of August. They're going to be giving guidance first week of August. And if that guidance is, hey, we're going to reach profitability with cash on hand, you're going to see this thing moving up hundreds of percent within days or weeks. Okay, that's the story with APRN. All right, continue. Watch Cano. That's the last one here I'm going to comment on. We got Vegas. Cano, we're just waiting for activist action for that CEO, ex-CEO, to be ousted from the board. And when that happens, I think we can break 150 and move towards $2. And I got to be quicker with the controls here. Here we go. Where is my music? Where's my friend Vegas? Here we go. Here she is. Vegas, how you doing?
Good morning. Well, it's Friday, so doing great.
All right, awesome. Fridays can be fun.
Yeah.
What's on your radar?
Well, I will say I am watching Netflix in particular, and I want to see if it can get over 418.26. Looks like it could, and if it does, it has a room to get towards 422 and 426. So definitely want to see it over that level. Looks like it's trying to make a move. The other one I'm watching is TSM and Taiwan Semiconductors, and over 101.42.
Oh, right off the 20 DMA. I like that, and I like the recent catalyst on this too.
That one looks like it's ready. And then really pretty much those are the ones I'm watching. I do like some other ones, but they're just not ready to trigger. I mean, we know Apple had 52-week highs, so if Apple can get over 187.04 today, because we could have a red to green open, right? So we've had a bit of a pullback overnight, but I've seen these days where it opens red and then flips to green. So we'll just see, but I'm not in a rush to get into anything. I think that seeing that next week is the last week of June, we could be setting up and getting ready for a nice month of July. So be patient if you're taking any option contracts for stocks of companies that are really good. Then you know what? Just take ones with time on it, because then those should work really well. Like one of the ones I'm liking right now, I actually was looking at Oracle, and Oracle's weekly chart shows me that this has a breakout. So this wants to break out on Oracle. So I think this is an excellent swing trade. The chart's really nice.
That's a AI play as well, Oracle.
Yeah, Oracle's connecting with AI as well. So I do like to see what it's going to do. And it has a range expansion and contraction setting up. It's actually more of a contraction. So it does have a breakout setting up on Oracle. So one to watch. Very comfortable taking the trade, even on this pullback, and going into something for August. So good swing trade opportunity with Oracle. So, you don't have to day trade to make money. You can make very good money with swing trades.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fridays, I be careful with those. What do you call it? 0DT options. That's not something I do. That's just gambling, guys.
I'm not doing any 0D trades at the moment, and I'm not right now. The market's just too choppy. Like these Fed speakers talking, so there's no point in doing them because it's too volatile that your premiums get crushed. So I'm not bothering with those at all. So I'm not going to bother with 0-day trades. And by the way, if anyone's listening, honestly, it's not really recommended that you do that when you have a smaller account, because you can just very easily blow $500 instantly. And then you're like, oh man, why'd I do that? So, you work hard for the money. You might as well just go into things with time, take things with time. Time is your preservation of capital. So take advantage and, pullbacks on stocks that have good fundamentals, good cash flow, and you can make good money with the right expiry date. Sometimes people don't take the right expiry date. They have the right trade idea, but the expiry date is not a good one, and then they lose their capital. So
yep, absolutely. Last thing, I just want to ask. I just want to ask about Overstock. Not Overstock. I'm sorry. No, Amazon. I'm sorry. Amazon is the only kind of big cap that was on my. I usually don't talk about mega caps, but I talked about it this morning. Do you see any follow through? I had a 5% day yesterday.
Yeah, listen, this is a gorgeous chart. I mean, it's got an expansion breakout, and I love expansion breakouts because the stock has made a 2-month calendar high, and it's done really well, and I think it's going to go higher. So I won't be surprised to see this, head towards 135 next. So, long term maybe 150 or more, but I think this heading towards 135. So this is a very nice, solid chart and solid swing trade. Looking for that continuation on Amazon. So I don't know if you'll get the continuation today per se. You might. I mean, it hasn't really pulled back that much.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Tesla?
I haven't been looking at Tesla. It hasn't been top of my mind. Let's see, because it reached my targets. Let me just check.
Great, beautiful chart.
Tesla, my initial targets was 255 to 265, that gap fill right here. So got to that gap fill, and after it seemed to exceed, go past that gap fill at like 265 plus the other day. So then I got excited. I'm like, all right, I guess it's going to 310, but now it's pulled back. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this pullback means it goes back to this 50 DMA, or I just don't know. I don't have a good handle on it right now.
Right. Okay. Well, keep a watch on it. There's been a lot. I want to say there's been a lot of leaps coming in on Tesla, like crazy.
I like the story long term. I got it in my IRA. I got it for my kids, and those shares I'm not trading. But as far as like
that's great.
Trading,
Your
I
kids
don't know.
Can buy a Tesla one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great.
Awesome.
That's great for long term. Okay, everyone. Have a great weekend. Great Friday, and we'll see you guys Monday. Thank you. Bye for now.